Did you ever think you'd see the day when Hamas and Donald Trump would be making headlines together, especially about peace in the Middle East? It almost sounds like the setup to a political thriller, but this is real life, and the world is watching with bated breath. The headlines are everywhere, and the stakes couldn't be higher. The Middle East has always been a hotbed of political tension, and any move towards peace is bound to send ripples across the globe. This latest development is no exception, capturing the attention of politicians, analysts, and ordinary citizens alike. So, buckle up, because this week, something extraordinary happened. On Friday, Hamas issued a public response to former President Trump's ambitious 20-point ceasefire proposal for Gaza. The proposal, which Trump unveiled with his signature bravado, aims to halt the violence, secure the release of hostages, and lay the groundwork for a new political order in Gaza. The world has been waiting to see how Hamas would react, and now, we finally have an answer. This proposal is not just another political maneuver, it's a bold attempt to address one of the most complex and long-standing conflicts in modern history. Instead of outright rejecting the plan, Hamas surprised many by signaling a willingness to negotiate. Their response wasn't a simple yes or no. Instead, they agreed to open talks, discuss the possibility of releasing Israeli hostages, and, perhaps most surprisingly, accepted the idea of technocrats, or nonpartisan experts, running Gaza's day-to-day affairs. This is a significant shift from their usual hardline stance, and it's got analysts around the globe scrambling to interpret what it really means. Could this be a genuine move towards peace, or is it a strategic play to gain international favor? But let's not get ahead of ourselves. While Hamas is open to negotiations, they carefully sidestep the thorniest issues, like whether they'd disarm or give up their own political power. In fact, they made it clear they still want a seat at the table, and they're not ready to dissolve their movement or fade into the background. This ambiguity leaves plenty of room for skepticism, and critics are already warning that Hamas could be buying time or trying to reshape the narrative in their favor. The complexities of Middle Eastern politics mean that every statement and action is loaded with potential implications. Meanwhile, Donald Trump wasted no time taking a victory lap on social media. He called Hamas's response a major breakthrough, claiming his plan is the first real step toward ending the bloodshed. Trump urged Israel to halt its bombing campaign and seize this opportunity for peace, framing himself as the dealmaker who could finally solve one of the world's most intractable conflicts. His supporters are hailing this as a diplomatic win, while his critics are questioning whether the plan is realistic or just another headline-grabbing move. The former president's involvement adds another layer of complexity, given his controversial tenure and polarizing influence. Over in Israel, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu responded with cautious optimism. He acknowledged that a deal could be within reach, but he's facing fierce resistance from his far-right coalition partners. These hardliners have threatened to bring down the government if any agreement leaves Hamas intact or allows them to retain influence in Gaza. The political infighting is intense, and Netanyahu is walking a tightrope, trying to balance international pressure for peace with domestic demands for security and retribution. The stakes are incredibly high, and any misstep could have far-reaching consequences. The drama inside Israel's parliament is reaching fever pitch. Lawmakers are trading accusations, protesters are taking to the streets, and the media is dissecting every word from both sides. The question on everyone's mind: can Netanyahu hold his government together long enough to make a deal, or will political chaos derail the peace process before it even begins? The internal dynamics within Israel are as crucial as the negotiations themselves, and the outcome is far from certain. Across Europe, leaders are reacting with cautious optimism. In capitals from Paris to Berlin, officials are calling this an encouraging step, but they're also warning that the road ahead will be long and uncertain. European diplomats are urging all sides to stay at the table and keep talking, while ordinary citizens watch the news, hoping for a breakthrough, but bracing for disappointment. The European Union has offered to help mediate and provide humanitarian aid, but they know that real peace will require much more than just good intentions. The European perspective is one of cautious hope, tempered by the realities of past failures. The United Nations, too, is weighing in. Secretary General Antonio Guterres, called the moment a vital opportunity to end the suffering in Gaza, and urged all parties to act with courage and flexibility. The UN is pushing for an immediate ceasefire and the opening of humanitarian corridors, but they're also warning that any deal must address the root causes of the conflict if it's going to last. The UN's involvement underscores the global significance of this moment and the need for a comprehensive approach to peace. On the ground in Gaza, though, the reality is grim. Despite the flurry of diplomatic activity, the violence hasn't stopped. Airstrikes continue to pound neighborhoods, and the humanitarian crisis is worsening by the day. Hospitals are overwhelmed, food and water are scarce, and families are struggling to survive amid the rubble. For the people of Gaza, talk of peace is welcome, but what they need most is immediate relief from the suffering. The human cost of the conflict is a stark reminder of what's at stake. So, what's next? All eyes are now on Cairo, where Hamas leaders are heading for a new round of talks with Egyptian mediators. Egypt has long played a key role in brokering ceasefires and negotiating prisoner swaps, and this time is no different. The coming days will be critical, as diplomats try to hammer out the details of a possible agreement and keep the fragile momentum alive. The role of Egypt as a mediator is crucial, and their ability to navigate the complex political landscape will be tested. Around the world, the response is electric. Newsrooms are on high alert, protesters are marching in major cities, and peace rallies are springing up from London to New York. Social media is buzzing with debate, as people everywhere ask, could this be the moment when the cycle of violence finally breaks? Or is it just another chapter in a never-ending saga of deadlock and disappointment? The global community is watching closely, and the outcome of these negotiations will have far-reaching implications. Now, we want to hear from you. Is this the breakthrough the world has been waiting for, or just more political theater? Do you think Hamas and Israel can really find common ground, or are the obstacles simply too great? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your voice matters in this global conversation. The dialogue around this issue is as important as the negotiations themselves, and every perspective adds to our understanding of this complex situation. Don't forget to hit like if you want more updates on this fast-moving story, and subscribe to our channel for all the latest news and analysis. The world is watching, history is unfolding, and we'll be here to break it all down for you, every step of the way. Stay tuned, because this story is far from over, and every development could bring us closer to a resolution or plunge us back into uncertainty.